Okay. Yep.
All right, welcome everybody. We got a pool play matchup right here in Group B between the Air Force Academy and Ohio State University, two teams that we've seen in college nationals a few years now. Good to see them getting back, and hopefully we'll have a tough game here. I'm Ben Kilpatrick, left back from the University of Virginia, just finished up a game. I'm here with Lincoln Ambrose.
Yeah.
How you doing, Lincoln?
Doing pretty well. Excited to get on the mic for this one.
Yeah, for sure. This is something we've been trying to do ever since last year at at West Point, but there's some rules up there with broadcasting live from a military base.
Yeah, and T told me they didn't get the contract right last year, so we weren't able to do it, unfortunately. But
yeah, that's all good. All good. Have the chance this time. Hoping to see a good game here.
Yes.
So I saw Air Force played yesterday against West Point Gold. Ended up pulling out the 1-goal win, 22-21. Very, very good match. I know Gold and Ohio State also just had a game this morning. Gold pulled out the dub there, but again, close game. So should be looking for a good one here. Lincoln, what are you looking for in this game? Keys to the match.
I'm trying to see how Ohio State comes out against this Air Force defense. They play a pretty unique style with Kavanaugh as their coach, so I'd like to see how they address that. It's a pretty aggressive defense, so we'll see if they're able to work around it.
Most handball teams play the 6 flat up against the 6, but Air Force a lot of times will pop out into a 3-3, which is more of a half-court press style defense. We'll see if they do it here. Sometimes they wait to pull it out until they get down and they have a close game. So we'll see if Ohio State stays in this game for a while. Air Force might jump out on them here.
Yeah, I kind of like how they wait a second just to throw it at them.
Gives them
later.
something in their back pocket just in case they need it. Now, this is a pretty different Air Force team than what we've seen in the past couple years. You'll notice their stud center back from last year, MVP of college nationals, Logan Ormsby, number 6, is currently not with us. We don't know if he just didn't make the trip or if he graduated last year, but it's a tough loss for the Air Force squad.
Yeah, he put up something like 40 goals last tournament.
48, actually,
48,
if I remember correctly. Yeah. Go check out that Wikipedia page if you want to learn more about last year's college nationals.
Yeah, great showing from UVA.
All right, good defense here from Air Force to start. Oh, and they're on the break already. 22, fast break, and it's a goal.
Counted 1. I'm trying to pull out the roster so we can get some names here.
Yeah, for sure. That's 22. That's their pivot. He was on the team last year.
Yeah.
Air Force returns about 4 or 5 starters. They're missing that center back, like I said, and they're also missing their big goalie.
So I have a big theory right here. I think there's a height limit in being a pilot at Air Force, which is why I believe their team is shorter than the average team.
Right.
Yet they work through it. They play great with their size.
See that aggressive defense right there by number 10?
They're playing almost 5-1.
Yep.
High turnover.
Sloppy play from Ohio State there.
Almost on a fast break again. Pivots back out there. Interesting. A lot of teams don't run the pivot up, probably because he's a bigger guy.
But again, like you said, with the height requirement for Air Force, it's not necessarily going to be the case.
A good save there from the goalie, but it goes right back to the wing. Going to start the offense back up slowly. What also Air Force does is they play a righty on that right wing side, which is a little unique because you like to have that lefty.
Oh, and number 3 with a good spot over the top.
Great spot from number 3. Yes, you like to have that lefty out there. But
what's interesting with Air Force is number 5, their right back, is a lefty, but they don't put him at wing, where you think that that opposite hand would be a little bit more advantageous. Let's see what Ohio State can come up with here. If I remember correctly, 26 was their stud from last game. Interestingly enough, he's playing right back. A lot of times you see the best players on a team either at center as the playmaker or at left back as the shooter if they're a right-handed player. But Ohio State does something a little bit differently. There's Leopold. Oh, good shot from Leopold.
Continuation. He pretty much would have traveled without the contact.
A little unlucky
so
for Ohio State there, but that's all right. They're showing they can do some things against this tight Air Force defense.
So we have good news and we have bad news. We have a few names here, but we have no numbers, so we may just be guessing today. I like that hair from number 9. He's got it pulled back.
Well, you got to keep the hair out of the eyes.
Got to keep the hair. See, I think it's poofy enough. It's not going to get in the eyes, but
I don't know. Maybe it just looks poofy because he's got the headband in.
You never know. You never know.
All right,
I think he should give a hair transplant to number 26.
It's funny. 26 does look really old.
He's got some tattoos. A good shot.
Oh, another unlucky shot.
They gave him the goal. I'm surprised about that. Usually they'll give him the 9 just because they called it first.
Yep. Questionable decision by the referee there, but
good shot there.
Can't doubt the experts.
Can't doubt the experts.
So we going on here. So if I remember correctly, last year number 3 for Air Force was their second highest score.
Yes,
again playing that left back position. A lot of goals from over the top.
High flyer, yeah.
High flyer because he's a pilot. Good one.
See, supposedly there are not that many of them that are actually pilots, but I don't know anything, so we're good.
There's got to be some that are.
I mean, I'd hope so. One's got to be.
That's what you got to see out of the military academies. All right, let's see. A lot of these guys from Ohio State were actually on their B team last year. Same thing with us at UVA. We lost quite a few fourth years here, seniors at Ohio State, but they're good to see them keep trucking along, just like us, pulling together a squad to bring to college nationals. It's always tough getting a decent group of teams to come out here and have a good tournament. 7 right here is a little bit low. We had about 9 last year, which made for a little bit better tournament. But that's got to be something.
That's got to be something. He's got to go up for that. Get the 7.
If number 3 takes the shot,
that's
right
almost
that's
a tackle. But I think he fell into it, so they're not going to call anything there.
Oh, yellow.
Oh, they give him a yellow. I think that's
on
a fair
15.
call. Kind of got around the neck. I haven't seen 15 before.
Yeah, he might be somebody new. Air Force does not bring 2 teams like West Point does and Ohio State did last year. So
yeah, the other teams have bigger squads.
Yeah, very, very well could be a first year. Number 4 getting wrapped there by number 5 on Air Force. You can tell Air Force has been a little bit more physical than Ohio State so far. Ohio State doesn't have a lot of big bodies besides number 26.
Good play. I think
nothing there. Wide open on the fast break. Number 5 coming down with that left hand.
Got a little gallop there. Great goal.
Put it right in the top left corner.
See, I don't know if he poked the ball out of his hand. In handball, you're not allowed to do that. That counts as a 9. So I would have called that back, but I don't know what the ref saw.
Yeah, might have ruled that he dropped it as opposed to being poked out of the hand.
It's a tough call.
Air Force again with this aggressive defense.
Yeah, got a lot of movement from the wing.
You like to see that though. Tough
That's
shot.
He got
tough
up
angle.
there. Tough angle though. Good save, I'd say. I've seen that Air Force goalie today, and they've looked good, and he's looked good. Oh, we do. So we have found the roster. So
that is good news. Good news.
Good news for everyone involved.
Ooh, a little fake from number 10. Right back to him. Oh, and that's fumbling it. Ooh, wide open on the break for number 3. Oh, that's shouldn't have. Oh, finish with the right hand from number 3 and the 2 for number 22.
Yeah.
Can't cut in front of him like that.
It's a dangerous play. He's already up in the air. It's a 2-minute penalty.
Benjamin Pagel. Sorry, Benjamin.
Sorry, Benjamin. Maybe Benji. Yeah, so 2-minute penalty. He'll be out for 2 minutes, able to go back in. It's kind of like a hockey. 2 minutes in the box.
Exactly what it is there. Let's run down these names here. As you see, Air Force does have a few young guys, a few 19-year-olds on the team, as does Ohio State. Good to see the young guys getting introduced to the sport of handball. Love to see it.
We got a 9 here. They're going to start up slow. Got a new pivot in there. I guess playing pivot since their pivot got a 2-minute penalty.
Oh, good work from 5.
So that's a little bit of a continuation.
Could have been a travel if they
a few too many steps, so they called the 9 back before the shot.
So cool thing about Ohio State that you'll notice, they do have. Oh, what a goal there!
Another goal from number 5. Is that his 3rd? It's either his 2nd or his 3rd.
Could possibly be. That's Nathan Luther. Nathan Luther looks like he's a junior. What I was saying before, cool thing about Ohio State is they have quite a few graduate players. Interestingly enough, totally legal here in handball. There's no limit to the number of years that you can play for a country. I mean, for a college.
I guess both, but
no national team players in this game, unfortunately. We'll see that in a couple other games with UNC, Texas A&M, teams like that.
Interesting. So they got a righty on that wing too. It's a tough angle. It's hard to get the body turned there.
It's a little bit difficult here, but yeah, Ohio State has a player in their 30s, a couple older in their 20s, obviously grad students, perfectly legal, like I said. Teams like West Point and Air Force won't have that, seeing as they're the military academies, but what a shot!
That's the way to do that
exactly
on the right wing.
Air Force
earlier, practices that well, and they really dive in there and get a better angle. They throw a little bit more over their head. The arm gets really high and up, so it gives them a better angle, and they can hit that top corner pretty well.
Air Force, like you said earlier, Lincoln, no pun intended, they are a high-flying team. They and West Point like to get up.
Yes,
for sure.
So now we're back full teams on both sides. New player in number 4. That will be Grant Gardner.
Coming in to play Piv.
Coming in to play Piv, yes. Piv or circle, center of the defense, center of the offense.
Sometimes, yeah. Gardner there's about as big as you'll see of a player from Air Force. Can't be much taller than that.
Their goalie last year was large.
Ooh, another high flying. Good dribbles out.
That's good.
Oh, almost a great save by the goalie from Ohio State. All right, we have our first time out here. Ohio State saw that Air Force was kind of pulling away a little bit. Good to stop the momentum. Now that is a little bit tough, though. You only get one timeout a half. So Ohio State will be going the next 17 minutes without a timeout now. Air Force still has one left. What are you seeing so far, Lincoln?
I think the game's kind of going how we're expecting. Air Force is one of the best teams here at this tournament. They're great on the break. That's what you'll see with a lot of these good teams. We're going to get many of your easy goals. They're great on the break. Their pivot, somebody's running every time, and their goalies are usually able to find them, and those are the easiest goals you're going to get. So if they're going to keep that up, I think this game is going to keep going this way. It's hard to get back on defense against these military academies. So
I agree. Shockingly, maybe not shockingly.
Shockingly.
Ohio State's half-court defense has not been bad at all. Air Force has had a couple of jump shots in the middle over the top, put them in the top corners where the goalie can't reach it. Ohio State has a little bit of a shorter goalie.
And I think that sometimes what we see with Air Force is that they really excel in the break, and that every once in a while they can get stagnant in that half-court offense.
Well, that's true of all military academies. Their conditioning is a lot better. You saw that in the last game between West Point Black and University of Virginia. Oh.
It's a good take across the middle.
Good try there from Leopold.
What you'd like is for him to take that final step towards the goal and get a little more power on a shot. Getting your body going away from the goal makes it hard to throw back against your momentum.
Exactly. It was an easy save there for a goalie. We can't talk about number 4 there, Mark Leopold, for a bit, though. He's the captain for this Ohio State squad.
He's the captain?
Yeah, number 4. He's 22 years old. He has a Virginia connection, actually. His father, Jeff Leopold, is a professor in the McIntire School of Commerce at the University of Virginia. So we like to root for our fellow Who's, no matter what the connection is there. Oh,
yeah. Sco Who's, as has been said before.
Exactly. Hopefully Professor Leopold's rooting for us when we're not playing Ohio State, which we haven't yet. Might get the opportunity later. Oh, a little bit sloppy on the break there from Air Force.
Not. You don't see that often from them. It's actually called back for a penalty, so they're going to be a little bit lucky there, but
again, it'll be fine. So you see, number 17 just came in for Air Force, Mark Simpson. He's actually their backup goalie, currently playing left back. Air Force has their goalies happen to play a lot, very multi-dimensional, versatile players. Same thing happened with their goalie last year. That was another great shot for Luther, number 5 from Air Force. He's definitely the leading scorer so far from this game. That left hand is really, really advantageous when you're playing the right back position and coming back, cutting across the middle. Again, aggressive Air Force defense.
Here you see the 3-3 coming. You see those 3 people in the middle, 2 backs, and probably the center back too, playing a little more forward. So that ball gets deflected outside. The goalie did not touch it, so it remains Ohio State ball. If the goalie does touch it out the back, it actually goes to the goalie's team.
Nice safe play from Ohio State there. Air Force is playing aggressively. They're setting back in their defense now.
See that?
What are they going to do? Oh, a little behind the back try from Leopold. I like got wrapped.
But if he doesn't get wrapped there, he's traveling, unfortunately. So he kind of got lucky there. I like the attempt, though. He's got to put down a dribble. He's already on that 3rd step.
Number 26, another one of those grad players from Ohio State, Devin Bartlett, 27 years old.
He knows what
nothing
he's
wrong
doing.
with that. He does know what he's doing.
A little sneaky there.
Oh,
see, they wrapped him up.
That should have been a 9 right there.
That's
I don't know what happened.
And another goal for number 5.
Oh, off the post.
I'm surprised that isn't a penalty. Number 10 was thoroughly in the.
He did cut him off there. Again, not allowed. Can't come at somebody from behind or from the side.
He's saying that he was set and had a charge, but I think he really got under there late. It's almost a dangerous play where I think you could call a yellow card.
It's better not to doubt the refs at tournaments like
no,
these.
I think the ref made the best call there. It definitely was not a charge. And I guess he got that shot off clean enough that you're saying he didn't impede the shot. No reason to call anything back. Everybody got their opportunity.
Oh, tough angle from 26. Oh, the curve shot. What a spin shot from 26. Devin Bartlett.
Sneaky. Yeah, I feel like the goalies see that, especially the Air Force one. Still a lot
of Americans don't take spin shots.
See,
like
that's an amazing. He lands almost like a plane with the wings out.
We're going to be making Air Force puns all game today, aren't we?
Potentially. Yeah, I mean, once again, that's something you rarely see out of Americans, that right-handed player from the right wing being able to take that shot at such an angle I mean, he really gives the body out.
Right. Europeans and South Americans have the spin shot down. A lot of that's because they like to use stickum a little bit more, or wax, as they call it.
Oh,
what a shot again from Bartlett.
I think they kind of surprised the goalie that he really shot it.
Right. Sometimes if you catch the goalie off guard, that can work. Again, this is a new Air Force goalie from last year, not as experienced.
But he's looked good, I will say.
He has looked good, that's for sure.
Somewhat this game, but definitely in past games I've watched this tournament. One thing I will say again on that right wing is that I remember last year, just barely a miss there from number 17, that backup goalies we mentioned earlier. Yeah, Air Force has some backup goalies that really are able to play in the field, but back to the right wing, I remember last year there were a few times when he really stagnated on that right wing. The same player, he's their captain, I believe. He just got subbed out, but he kind of stagnated shooting, and it was because he wasn't.
Oh, another good shot from Leopold. Ohio State's making a little bit of a run here, coming back from cutting the lead from 4-3.
Fast break.
Oh, almost took the shot there.
Slowed down, but yeah. So that I remember he stagnated last year a little. It's because he wasn't selling out and giving his body up to get that angle. And once he did it again, as we've seen today, he's really able to get that good angle and that good shot.
5 stop there. What a wrap from 7.
Oh,
almost a travel. Almost a travel. Put the dribble down, but then the spin made it a little tough. 10 is coming out from Ohio State. That's Joseph Disler.
Yeah, it looks like he hurt the thumb. We'll see how that goes.
Ohio State bringing the ball down a little bit leisurely, setting up their offense here, moving some people around.
We're starting to see some more aggressive play out of Air Force's defense. You see those 3 players a little more forward than the other 3.
C14
kind of cut
off
that pass. That's the whole point of that, is it makes it hard to run your offense. Oh, that could be a yellow card right there. Yeah.
They are. Good call right there, Mr. Ambrose. And you see the ref there, that's Scott. Scott is a former national team player, calling it on the neck there.
Great player.
Scott is a fantastic player, plays for one of the UNC alumni teams at the club level as well. But Scott really knows what he's doing out there. Again, best not to question the national team guys. Although, if there's anybody here who could question the national team guys, that would be the coach from Air Force, Mike Cavanaugh.
Who has coached the national team for many years.
That is correct. Former CEO of USA Team Handball, just stepped down. That was a great shot from number 15. A different wing over there, right-handed wing on the right wing for Air Force. Like Lincoln said earlier, a bit untraditional, but they've hit every shot they've had so far this game. So
I mean, I've only seen one lefty on their team, and 5 plays great at that right back position. So I understand why they do it. Some good defense, almost a charge there. It is a charge. You see them, he drives that shoulder into the middle of the chest. You can't do that. Oh, that's a great movement. Oh, he lost the ball. But it's a 7 because they're kind of behind him there. Some great fast break movement again. That's what we've been talking about beforehand. They really do well in the fast break. 5 looking for another goal from the 7 here. Kind of like a penalty shot.
Kind of like a penalty shot.
It is a penalty shot. Kind of like a soccer penalty shot. Functionally a handball penalty shot.
Thank you. Way to clarify that. 5 really put a lot of velocity on that ball.
Yeah, and he's been doing that all day. I think that's what makes it tough to save. I mean, obviously, that's one of the main
2 aspects of the shot. You got
placement and power.
Right.
He seems to have both.
It's a good point, but
it's a good mix.
If you have a lot of high velocity on your shot, you can be a little bit worse with the placement a lot of times. We saw a 7 in the last game that goalie tipped it, but it just went right through his hand because it had too much power on it.
So that's a 3-second violation. You're not allowed to stand with the ball without dribbling or moving for 3 seconds to prevent a lot of
Don't see that a lot.
You don't see. You got a 2-minute penalty. I don't know what for. I didn't see.
Let's see what happened
there.
Maybe
he kicked the ball, or he threw the ball away. I guess he didn't. He must have thrown the ball away. I wasn't watching clearly.
That's exactly what it was. You have to put the ball down immediately once that ball is called.
The ball is called?
Once the foul is called, excuse me. Thank you, Lincoln. So you see a little 6-on-5 action here. Ohio State's playing a man down.
Oh, he gets through and a perfect
great shot off the post.
It's a second goal from Mark, I believe.
Good call, Mark Simpson. Wondering why he's not acting in a sitcom right now. Expected his skin to be a little bit yellower.
Good.
Should be another.
Oh, See, that was kind of a sloppy fast break, but it came out working. Some great 3-3 defense there. You see them getting in those passing lanes, kind of.
Right. They're being a little bit more aggressive when Ohio State's playing with 5 players. Ohio State's trying to slow the game down a little bit.
And see, Air Force plays aggressive really well because they're used to it. Ooh.
Call the 9 there.
So he thought he traveled, but there's enough contact that you call that 9.
Right.
Usually the refs will let it go because the play's
shouldn't drop that ball, though, from Brendan Herbert. Herbert's a freshman over there. Good to see some new guys getting some plays.
Ooh,
sloppy play.
That's the 33-year-old, number 18. Oh, we have another quasi-fast break. Some good movement from 3. He did not like the shot, but that was a great feed. I think that Ohio State defense really got to close that second gap.
Yeah, this is getting a bit out of hand.
You're going to give up that first shot, but 3 didn't like it, but you got to get in the way of number 11 there. That being Amari Hill. Great shot from him. Another pass.
Great defense.
Blocked.
Air Force
See, that's Richard, I believe.
Yeah, Vaughn should have passed the ball there.
See, that's his second interception in a row, but he got closed down well. That was some good defense from Ohio State coming behind him. So there's some interesting rules where you're only allowed to swipe a dribbling ball from beneath or the side.
Exactly.
It's kind of
can't swipe down.
It's a difficult rule to enforce, and it's one that's hard to know. I thought he swiped down there, but it's a really tough call. Something that's easy to miss. And not a very influential one anyway.
You will notice a lot of these calls are up to the ref discretion.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of
games getting out of hand, and they'll be a little bit more lax. Saw that in the previous game as well.
Yeah, the refs do well though. I mean, I've started reffing just a little, and it is tough.
Oh, good try right there from Devin Bartlett. A little bit off of mark. You see Ohio State's back full now. 2 minutes have elapsed.
Mm-hmm. I want to see this half-court Air Force offense. We haven't seen it in a long time. Especially, I guess we've seen it when they were 5 down, but that's a little easier.
That is a little different. Let's see if they can find the holes.
So a few cuts. It got overloaded there. I thought Amari would have gotten a shot on that wing.
That would have been a good wing shot.
So coach doesn't like they're dribbling a little too much, which really stagnates. Ooh.
Not surprised to see the yellow there.
He's getting called a yellow. Just a little too physical, throwing him around, a little from behind.
Yep, that's on number 32, James Fesco. Fesco brings a little bit more size to the middle of the Ohio State defense alongside Bartlett. Again, a little bit thicker.
So he was going to say he could have passed that earlier. Ball just falls out of his hands. I think you got to pass that earlier and softer. Giving him the wing that ball that low kind of messes with his steps to get in.
Those new viewers who haven't watched handball before, there are 3 steps allowed in the game as opposed to 2 with basketball. A lot of times you'll see American players just taking those 2 and not taking advantage of the 3rd step because they're used to playing basketball. So a lot of times what you think might be a travel actually isn't because they do have that extra step.
Yeah, it looks a little weird for a lot of Americans because you're used to those 2 steps. But then again, in basketball, they're almost a 3 with a gather now. So it looks somewhat similar at times.
We'll stay away from the NBA controversies in this game.
We do have only 1 playoff series left in the NBA, however. That's a tough hit, but I think that's a fair hit. I don't think that's an extra penalty. You can get called for something if you drive them into the ground, but I think he came against him flat and didn't drive him down.
That's a good call, Lincoln. That's just a normal 9 here. He's a little bit shaken up, though.
I've been told by
Brendan Herbert.
I believe, Scott, the ref there, that you can hit somebody as hard as you want as long as you hold them up.
That's true.
And you hit him in the front. You can't go from the side or behind.
Can't drive him into the ground. Oh.
So that he gave the ball away. That's another fast break. 10 getting in the way there. I think he's done that a few times now, and I think that's a little questionable. He may be starting to get called for something.
He is coming a little close there.
So it can get dangerous. That's why the call's in place.
That's Joseph Disler again.
Yeah. Back after getting some tape on his thumb.
We do have some player notes here. If we want to go through these, let's see what we have here with Ohio State and with Air Force.
I think we'll go with whenever somebody scores, we'll give them a fun fact off their player notes. Ooh, tough shot there from number 32 on Ohio State. We have an interesting system here, so it's tough for us to find the variable.
So I do some interesting
we have
thing.
A goal? I wasn't watching. We were looking down to get some information, and it looks like they picked up a goal real quick.
Good job for Ohio State there. We do
Sometimes
have some predictions from the players on who's going to win the college nationals this year. Couple people from Ohio State, Julian Orr and Mark Leopold going with West Point.
We got another goal there.
Oh, 2 minute on Air Force on Richard Vaughn. Maybe this is an opportunity for Ohio State to pull a couple goals back.
I think he may have been behind him. Can't really do that, especially on the fast break.
Right, exactly. Like I was saying, Julian Orr and Mark Leopold from Ohio State.
Oh wait, we have a fun fact on
West
Richard
Point Black.
Vaughn. So
go ahead, time the fun fact.
We got a business management major. He is class of 2020, so he's got another year of eligibility. And
that was the fun fact. You're in major.
He's ex-baseball player. We'll just run down.
Oh, that should be a 7.
Oh, that's
cannot wrap from behind.
And a 2 minute. He's saying he was clean. He was
2 minute
all
on
over
Disler
him.
there. Can't grab that arm from behind at the top of the 6 during a shot. This will be interesting. Rare to see a 5-on-5 happen.
Oh,
great shot.
That right wing selling out his body yet again. Great shot. Leaning forward, a lot of the Air Force players will do that on their 7s. It gets you closer to the goal and makes it harder for the goalie. So we have a little dribble penetration there. He's taking his momentum away from the goal, which makes that shot really difficult. What you're seeing here is one of the unique situations when it's 5v5. We don't see that often. Is it 5v5? Yes, 5v5. Very unique.
That'll be for another minute and a half. And
I think it's slightly underneath a minute and a half because the second 2 was called. See Air Force go full before Ohio State will. See, Air Force will still play this press defense when they're down a man almost, but they're at 5 people, which makes it really difficult.
Really opens up the floor a little bit. It helps if you have a quicker team.
Yeah, which they definitely do. Oh, that's some good job playing off the pivot. I think 32 had a little bit of a carry there. Unlike basketball and handball, you're not allowed to carry the ball or hold and dribble the basketball or the handball from the side. You have to go completely from the top. Mm-hmm. A rule that a lot of people have trouble learning when they switch over to handball. All right, we see that Air Force is about to become full again. Get their 6 man. Yeah, Richard Vaughn steps back on the court.
A little bit surprised Vaughn hasn't been the leading scorer so far this game.
Well, number 5 is playing great, and he has been good. That's a great goal. Got some elevation there, lets the goalie drop a little and then throws it above him.
Air Force does a good job. When they elevate, they hold on to the ball for a little bit, pause a little bit, make the goalie choose a side, makes it a lot easier to place the ball exactly where they want to be. So again, Ohio State's down a man here, so Air Force is manning up, making it tough for Ohio State to pop off a shot. They did get a shot up there, as you see. Unfortunately, that was tipped by number 12, the goalie from Air Force, Austin Faulkner. Haven't seen Faulkner before. Oh.
Fast break.
Don't know why that wasn't a 9 there.
Oh, a little sneaky, got it around him.
Great goal by Devin Bartlett there. That very easily could have been called a 9 on the other side from Air Force. Again, that's something that might have been let go because Ohio State was down by 7 goals, now 6, but not going to question it.
30 seconds left in the half. You think that Air Force is going to wait for the last
Vaughn
shot.
Again.
Oh, it's a powerful shot.
Oh, what a save.
Gets hit in the face.
What a save.
I don't know. He looks like he was trying to get something.
That's a 9 there by Vaughn. Clock keeps running. 10 seconds left in the half.
I mean, that's got to hurt. But I think there was some acting in it, too. Oh, that's a charge.
Should be a charge.
Yes.
3 seconds left for Air Force. 2, 1.
Oh.
Good 9.
Say give him the 9.
No, not going to give it to him at half court. No reason to. Pretty much impossible to make it from there.
I think that's a little dangerous, too. He did get around him to an extent, and he's still going to grab him at the end of the half. I don't like that.
All right, let's see. Should have a 5-minute halftime here. Lincoln, let's talk about this. Recap the first half, make second half predictions, and then we'll go into these player profiles a little bit more. So, tell me what you're seeing from that first half.
I think pretty much what we talked about at the last break during the Ohio State timeout. Air Force is really coming out on those fast breaks, getting downhill down the court. We've seen fewer goals from them in their half-court offense. They are doing well when they're up a man, but when they're not, they're taking some jump shots that may not be ideal. You'd rather have them jumping into the 6th. Nevertheless, they are playing their game. They're playing well, aggressive on defense, getting in those passing lanes, making it tough for Ohio State. I think they've been a little sloppy at times, so Ohio State's had a few fast break goals that you don't usually see coming.
This is a reasonably close game at this point, 16-10 in favor of Air Force.
Yeah, it's definitely not out of hand. I don't think you say you're happy about this from Ohio State's side, but you're not angry. You know Air Force is a great team, so you're just
Air Force has not
played
played their best. There's been a little bit of sloppy play.
Yeah, they've played great on their fast breaks, but otherwise I'd like to see a little more crispness.
Looks like they upped the time on the halftime, giving each team a little bit more rest. That should work in Ohio State's favor. What do we have on predictions for the second half?
Predictions for the second half?
Right. Do you think give me the estimated probability of Ohio State coming back and either tying or winning this ball game?
Not great.
Over under 10%.
I plead the fifth.
Pleading the fifth.
I will give a goal prediction. I'll give a final score prediction.
I
think we saw 16 goals. I think we're going to see some conditioning issues coming out of Ohio State.
I agree.
Air Force has really been running the game here, so I think we're going to see more than 16 goals from Air Force in the second half.
Do you think they hit 35?
I definitely think they hit 35. 35 was going to be my estimate.
I'll take the under on the 35 number.
So I'm going to go 35-18. That's going to be my final score prediction.
35-18. I think Ohio State's going to get a few more goals than that. I think Air Force is going to pull off in the second half when it becomes clear they're going to get the win. I'm going to go 32-22. I think the gap's going to
32-22.
Yep.
Okay. Well, we will see.
All right, let's dive into these player profiles a little bit more. We're going to start with Ohio State over here. Interestingly enough, Ohio State actually took a team trip to Europe over spring break. Saw some great handball matches across Denmark and Germany and France. You see, they're quite knowledgeable about their handball players. You see, Mark Leopold, son of the UVA professor that we talked about earlier, he has listed Mikkel Hansen from Denmark as his favorite handball player.
That's a popular choice.
Great choice. My personal favorite as well. Hansen is a very large Dane, left back, flowing locks. Man is very strong. He puts that ball wherever he wants to in a goal.
Look great with a pilot. And I think they just come out the bottom. You kind of see those lacrosse
I think he's
players.
a little bit too big to fit into the cockpit of a fighter
Well, I think of it kind of like a mullet for those lacrosse players when it comes out the bottom of the helmet. I think he'd look great in that.
You know, Lincoln, we actually we're on camera right now. Good to see the announcers getting some FaceTime. Normally, us radio guys are on radio for a reason. But
hey, we got the faces. Hopefully,
we have. We've made the bump up to TV. Hopefully, we're not breaking any cameras. Let's see. Anything interesting on the Air Force player
I was going to dive
side?
into Nathan Luther. He's had a great first half.
That's true. Number 5, the lefty right back from Air Force. What do we have on Luther?
Major. So what's interesting about the Air Force Academy and Army and the military academies is that they have a limited range of majors that's different from a lot of liberal arts institutions. What you see is that it's a ton of engineering, then you get a business and sometimes a political science, econ. But outside of that, you don't.
It's rare to have some foreign language majors, some English majors, philosophy majors.
Very
things like
rare.
That.
What we're seeing, I'll just go through the majors. We're seeing management, mechanical engineering, civil engineering, systems engineering, business management, econ, poli-sci, and then systems engineering with an aerospace focus. My guess is he's a pilot. But yeah, so what we're seeing is, as we said, a lot of engineering majors, but Nathan Luther is that political science major, the sole political science major on the team as far as we know.
A little bit more diversity of the majors over on the Ohio State side. You have an economic PhD student we mentioned earlier, Rohan Shah. He's the 33-year-old number 18 with one of the two players in Ohio State with the big poofy hair. Nothing against that. I think it looks great.
I think it looks great. It even hides the glasses band that's going around his head.
Like I said, a little bit more diversity. Julian Orr, biological engineer. You have Dale Farrell Harris. Yeah.
Interesting.
Dale Farrell Harris, health science major.
I see a biomedical engineering, but biological engineering is interesting.
Without the medical focus. And then you have Mark Leopold. He's a major in sports industry. Very cool fact about Leopold. He's going to work for the Washington Nationals next year. I would love that. Yes.
Oh, I guess
he's a 2019 graduate.
That's cool. So
that's why he's the senior captain on this team. You can see him leading his team over there on the bench.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Guess we have a minute 42 until we get back into this game.
So what was your final score prediction?
I gave it a 35-18.
Right. I had 32-22.
Yeah. So we'll see where it goes. I think we both went on two different ends of the spectrum. Game will probably fall between it.
Yeah, as you can see, both made predictions of Air Force pulling it out, but it's not unreasonable for Ohio State to mount a comeback here. 6-goal lead at halftime is not insurmountable, that's for sure.
For sure.
We saw in the championship of college nationals last year between West Point Black and UVA. We had West Point Black was up by 5 with just 3 or 4 minutes left. UVA mounted a furious comeback before Black pulled out one final goal in the last minute. Lincoln's laughing at something over here, and I don't know what it is. Hoping they're not making fun of me.
No, it was from something we discussed earlier, which I won't share on air.
That's probably for the best. We got to keep this PG.
Our Spaniard came over and was giving us some laughs. He's been a great addition to the team this year. You'll see him more as number 11 at the UVA team.
Juanjo Moreno.
Quite. 25 seconds. I think Air Force starting with the ball here. I think they can't run their fast break. I almost think Air Force starts better on defense because they're likely to get a fast break. So we'll see how this half-court offense does. Very
fair point. Again, if Air Force pulls out this game, they will be the first seed out of the B pool, playing UVA about 2:15. Because of Ohio State's loss to Gold earlier today, they'll end up as the 3rd seed, and they'll play the 2nd seed out of the A pool, which will be either Carolina or Texas A&M.
I think they're probably playing in the other gym right now, would be my guess.
That's certainly possible. Might be the next game. We'll see.
I'm not sure.
All right, looks like we're about ready to begin this second half. As soon as the table gets ready, here we go. Running 25-minute halves here in the pool play games. Fairly standard for American collegiate handball. You'll see some 20-minute games if it's more of a scrimmage. 25-minute games normally, and then the semifinals and championships of this game will be played in 30-minute halves.
You broke through well, but that's a great save.
That was a heck of a save by the Ohio State goalie. He was not fairly good.
Fairly good able to run the fast break here. That's some good hands, but he swiped down on the ball. I think that's probably what the call is.
Always going to be a 9 right there.
Had a hand on the body, too. I thought they could have ran the fast break there. Air Force did well to get back, but they still had a 6-on-5. So I think if you run wing to wing, pass the ball pretty quickly, you can have some space and take a shot.
Some back movement here from Ohio State. 26. Oh. Got the 9 call, though. Got the 9.
Good call.
Offline on the shot, though.
Still a good shot. That's a loud clap.
Looks like he's good, though.
Yeah, finding the spot. You have to pass the 9 in at the spot of the foul, or tangentially, or radially out from where the foul was called. So we have 26 trying to play hero ball.
Ooh.
I think that's almost
very close to a charge right there.
Almost a charge.
That could have gone either way, folks.
We've had a few of those similar ones called.
You can see Coach Kavanaugh from Air Force was not happy with that call.
Yeah, we've seen a few of those charges called throughout the rest of the tournament on similar plays. So I'm surprised these refs didn't call that one. But there's a lot of discretion there. And the ball may have came out before he hit him, and it may have been a flop. Ooh. So you never really know.
3 decides not to shoot it there. They get the open wing shot for number 9.
The ball just slipped out there, I think.
Yeah, they're not calling anything on Leopold.
Kind of like
if you make contact on that wing shot, it is a 7 penalty.
But I think that was kind of like that Klay Thompson three-pointer where he just lost the ball.
Lincoln, we're not bringing NBA on this. We have handball fans on air right now.
You're right.
Handball fans only. If you want to reference Mikhail Hansen, you can all day.
Oh. Tried to get a little cheeky with it there.
Right.
See, the interesting thing there, he tried to keep the feet in. It's not the feet, it's where the ball is. So he could have stepped out and tried to keep the ball in play there.
You can see Ohio State trying to feed the ball to number 26, Devin Bartlett.
He
is
must
obviously
be the best player in the center of the offense.
Wow.
Oh, that's a great save. And another goal. Way to get that rebound.
First, that was a great little dump to the piv. Yeah, very impressive save from Ohio State, number 16, who we do not have on the roster as number 16. We got to figure that out.
Yeah, I didn't see him earlier.
I'm guessing it's George Brown. That's number 0, and no one else is wearing number 0.
That would be my guess as well, because we haven't seen his name yet.
We also have some season results here for you guys. Ohio State's had a very, very impressive season, possibly the best yet. They actually beat West Point Gold. Granted, that is West Point's second team, but it's still
good movement.
Travel there.
I was going to say, I thought that may have been 4 steps, but he did jump off the right, so I think he kept it to 3.
Yeah, Ohio State did beat West Point Gold in Columbus, Ohio earlier this year, 25-24. A lot of our players we have bios on said that was their favorite moment in Ohio State handball history. Maybe the best win from Ohio State in their history. West Point Gold's a tough team, even though they are the second team from West Point. At the military academy, specifically at West Point.
It looks like a travel to me almost.
They're going to give
him
the 9.
I guess there's enough contact there. They'll give him the 9. I think if he had taken the shot and scored, they would have called it back because he had traveled. It's a good save right there. It looks like it went out. Went out the side,
so it remains Ohio State ball. If it had gone out the back, it would have been Air Force ball.
I don't think you can do that on a. Was it a corner?
No, it was a side.
So I didn't think you could go into the 9.
I
don't know what the call
Questionable decision there.
Oh, fast break and a goal. It's a great shot. You see him selling out the body again. They do that really well. Gets him a better angle. Gets him closer to the goal before they shoot. Harder to save.
You will see the military academies are coached a little bit better. A lot of times in military academies, you are forced to play a club sport, and it's built into the schedule every day.
Yes.
So you get more consistent practice times, more consistent workouts. A lot better than a club team at any normal university.
They often force you to play a varsity sport if you're able to make it a club sport, or if you're not, at the very least, they play intramurals.
Right.
I mean, it keeps them all in shape. It gives them some fun, but they're all structured in the day.
Another aspect of that official aspect is that you always see coaches out of military academy teams. West Point will always have a coach, as we've mentioned, Coach Mike Cavanaugh from Air Force, who's been around for a long time. You're always going to see.
Oh, we have a fast break there. I thought he would have kept going, but worked out anyway. You take the worst angle, kind of gallop
off
there.
The leg.
Good shot. Good shot.
You will see other teams like Ohio State and UVA do not have head coaches. Sometimes that works out. Players can coach themselves just fine. Sometimes it doesn't, though.
Yeah, I mean,
you can see a lot less structured, a lot less disciplined from teams like that. More of a free-flowing atmosphere. If you have the athletes to do that.
Oh, something happened over there.
Another 2-minute on Richard Vaughn. No. Oh, no. All three of them. Oh, my goodness. That is crazy. A triple 2-minute call.
I did not see what happened. We may have to get a replay on that.
So number 3, Richard Vaughn, and number 18, Rohan Shah, we're kind of fighting down there by the 6.
It looked like almost a flop. I don't know what happened. I'm trying to get something out of the Air Force.
I think there was double technicals called on Vaughn and Shaw.
And then somebody was...
Right. We might have had number 11 from Air Force, Amari Hill. Yeah, it might have been a little bit of chatter there.
I would ask one of them to get on the mic right now, but I don't want to.
That's probably not the best idea with them in-game.
In-game, I don't think the coaches or the players would appreciate that.
So we had a 5-on-5 with the double 2-minute earlier. This isn't even a rare scenario in handball. A 5-on-4. Look at all the space.
I have ever seen that.
That should be an open wing shot every day.
It's a goal. It's a good
all the
shot.
time. Yeah, great shot right there from number 3, Brendan Herbert. One of the younger guys in the Ohio State team. I think I mentioned that earlier. He is a freshman. Good to see them getting into the game. Number 4 into the game for Air Force, Grant Gardner.
Back in.
You'll see, might try to take some time here.
Oh, he's going to take that shot.
No. Oh, he's fighting through it. Oh, and the goal.
A big man. That is a big man.
Like we said earlier, biggest man on the court right now.
He is galloping back. He's happy with himself.
I don't know if I'd call that a gallop or a lumber.
Lumber.
He was lumbering back.
In between.
Bigger man. Oh.
See, I don't know. They're playing a little bit of ISO right now. That's a good spin move, but he is all the way in the 6. He is all the way in the 6 there. Great call from Scott. Half a foot in.
Heck of a shot, though.
Heck of a shot. I like that spin move. He really got him to bite, but feet in the 6. Not allowed to do that. He got an underhanded goal from Air Force last possession. Great job. A lot of times when you're a man down, you're just trying to get through those 2 minutes without going down any more goals. But another great goal. I think Ohio State's got to play more of a team defense when they're upper man.
That's true.
You can really help out because you have that extra player.
Air Force is turning this into a one-on-one match.
Going
they're going to win
one-on-one
every day.
Yeah.
They're more technical,
they're
technically
bigger,
advanced.
They're stronger.
They're more athletic.
They're more athletic. They're more conditioned. They practice more. I mean, all the above. Good save.
Ohio State did get that open wing shot. You see Ohio State takes their time getting back on defense, and that's where Air Force isn't going to push it when they're down a man.
Because, as I said, you kind of want to
wasting the time
get
there.
through those 2 minutes. It's about to go up.
Yeah, 10 seconds down.
Oh, he's going to take that bad wing shot. Oh.
That's tough.
He hit him in the face again.
Goes out the side, though. Oh, my goodness.
See, the goalies.
We have never seen that before.
No, we haven't.
It's going to be a 3-on-5 for 6 seconds, folks.
See, the goalie was asking for that last time. Last time
made contact with the goalie inside.
I understand
the
the call there.
Right.
You really, it's too dangerous. You can't be throwing it at their face, even if you don't mean it. The tough thing is I know
Air Force is
going
to bring the goalie up here. Oh no, he's going back
he was just.
So Ohio State ball. They're up 2 men for 6 seconds.
5-on-3. This is an interesting one we haven't seen.
You only have
before.
6 seconds though.
This is wild.
The clock has been paused while we figure this out until it starts again. They gotta go quickly here.
So they got 6 seconds. They should be able to get an open shot.
2, 1.
Oh, they got wrapped. You have so much speed. Oh. You got to get out of the. See,
wow,
they
great job by Air Force
into
there.
the pivot.
Now Ohio State is still up a man because of that 2-minute penalty.
So
on
I
number
wanted
9.
to go back to that. The goalie on an earlier possession had tried to get that called, and I understand it. But the earlier possession seemed to be less pain. He was truly in pain on this one. It's a tough call to make because you know they didn't mean it. Oh, that's the classic 7 we talked about from that wing shot. If you undercut them, you're on the side. You can't come at somebody from the side. You really got to beat them to the spot and stay flat.
First 7 for Ohio State here.
Like subbing in the goalie.
Interesting.
Kind of getting the head. Maybe
this must be the
bigger guy. He's a bigger guy.
He is a bigger guy.
Oh,
and he made the save. It worked out for Air Force. Wow. What a call by Coach Matt Cavanaugh.
Cavanaugh's got a grin on his face after that one. A little sneaky.
And they're making the sub back out. What a save from number 1. Very hard to save those 7s. About an 80% conversion rate usually.
Oh,
a little shifty
sneaky
from number 10.
And
4 gets past.
I think, that's almost a penalty.
Right. Mark Leopold almost came across and hit that hand from the side. Not allowed.
Ohio State goalie likes to come out, which is
he
somewhat dangerous in why he gets hit in the face, but it also opens up the lob.
We haven't seen a lob today. Some teams, such as UVA, like to try that a little bit too much, get a little bit too cheeky, and it hurts them.
You can never go wrong.
A wide open wing shot.
Another wing shot. He's gone underneath. That's a great decision.
Whenever that goalie jumps like that on that wing shot, when you have wide open, exactly. Put it through the legs. It's a goal
if you stay up long enough for him to jump. They tell goalies not to jump. That's where you see the practice with them raising their leg to their feet so that they're able to keep
1 foot on the ground.
Keep 1 foot on the ground and try and hopefully block that.
Now the goalie is the only member of the squad allowed to touch the ball with their foot. Great defense by Leopold there.
Oh, he was inside the 6. His foot was in the 6, so they get the ball called back. He's going to take the bad angle shot. That's a great finish.
Off the top right, inside post.
Into the other side of the goal. That is
a very tough shot. He couldn't recreate that if you asked him to. I'm assuming. He might can.
I don't know.
He's a pretty good player.
See, what I've found is that upper near corner, those goalies don't like to save because they don't think you're going to – wow.
Called the 9 before Bartlett had the
So as I was saying, the goalies don't think you're going to throw it there, and it's kind of a dangerous shot because it's between their head and the post. But the hand often is at their inside hand is at their waist level, so it's an open spot. Just have to be able to throw it. It kind of looks like Leopold was looking for the 9 there. He wanted to go, but he never really looked like he was going to take that jump shot. It's often a good idea to go and get that 9 if your offense gets stagnant. Oh, he has a little travel there. So unlike basketball, you do not have a pivot foot. If you pivot, those are still steps. You're not allowed to just stand there and keep taking steps off your pivot foot.
Lincoln, are there any other specific handball rules you want to address before we continue with this match that our viewers might have questions about?
I think there's a few interesting ones, but not ones that are common enough that need to come up.
That's
really.
Right. We've seen a lot of them this game already.
Yeah, we've had a lot of calls in this game. The correct calls, but a lot of calls. So.
Yeah, this has been a fairly unique game with that 5-on-3 scenario.
Oh, that is like.
They're calling the 9 at half court.
See, you can't really strip the ball. The ball is part of the body in handball, so a strip of the ball, if it's still in their hand, isn't really legal, which is unique to handball.
You hear us referring to 9s and 6s and 7s. We should clarify those definitions.
So a 6, the 6-meter line is that arc you see. A 7 is the distance to the penalty spot, 7 meters. So when we say 7, they get called and the foul gets called and they get that penalty shot. Not all fouls. That's a great goal there. Not all. That's Grant, I believe.
Yeah, Gardner's really using his size.
Yeah, not all fouls become a 7, just the egregious ones, or when they're shooting and it's a clear shot.
Right. Other fouls are known as 9s. You see there's a dotted line.
It's 9 meters out.
Yes, 3 meters outside of the 6. That is when normal fouls get called inside of that 9. That's when you call that 9.
Yeah. You bring the ball out to the 9. Everybody on the offense has to be outside of that line. It just makes it so that you're not too close. It's kind of like, I don't know if there's a similar thing in another sport.
So if you get fouled inside that 9-meter line, it brings back out to the 9. But if it's outside of that 9-meter line, it's just the spot of the foul. Defense has to be 3 meters away.
So another rule that we slightly touched on, Ben, my co-commentator, said the only players on the court that can touch the ball with their feet are the goalies. So
Correct.
Even accidental touches get called back.
Right.
They're 9s. The difference is a purposeful touch of the foot, even like blocking a pass, is a 2-minute penalty, which is very unique to this game.
That was
I think that's a
right
2-minute from behind.
That's his third 2-minute.
That's his third.
Joseph Dissler.
Yeah, he's been a little too aggressive on defense a few times.
Dissler is a smaller guy. Has to make up for it with his aggressiveness, but can't do that from behind, especially on the neck. That's very dangerous.
Yeah, we see that often, is that if you try and become a little too aggressive, it just means that you're grabbing them in inopportune situations where you're just going to get penalties called. So we're calling. Nathan's coming out. We have Richard going back in. Interesting, taking any lefty out because he's been shooting really well from that side.
All righties on the floor right now for Air Force.
Open wing shot, really good. You see that pivot, the guy who stands on the 6 on offense, really sealed that defender with a screen and gave Amari the wing an open shot.
Very easy to do when you're up a man on offense.
Yeah, when you're up a man, you can use those pivots to really just create some extra space.
We'll see Ohio State try to take some time here.
Just moving around.
Hard to do when you're down 12 goals, but that's what you have to do when you're down a man, too.
You also can't set a front screen. That was one of the things that I was going to mention, and it looks like that's what he's doing. You can only set a back screen. So I think I wasn't able to completely see what happened, but it almost looked like he was about to set a front screen, and I think it would have been called back. Air Force man was going to jump the pass. From Ohio State. He tried to hold on to it, but he couldn't. We have Ohio State down a man still. They're going to run a little offense. He tried to be a little cheeky with the pass. He got caught.
Yeah, that was a wrap from behind. It's going to be a 7 every time.
A wrap from behind, or 26 was within the 6. I'm not sure. I think it could have been the second. The latter. Either way.
Two guys wrapping them at the same time, so it's very possible. Yeah. Maybe it was both.
See, there's that fall again on the shot.
Lets you get as close as possible. Again, making it a little bit easier shot. Confuses the goalie a little bit. What are we saying? What does Ohio State need to do here to put together a run? That was a disgruntled sigh.
They've scored 3 goals in 15 minutes. That's the first issue. They need to create some goals on offense, but now Air Force is playing a really aggressive defense, and you see they just get that ball real easily. Oh, that's a double dribble.
Double dribble.
So, unlike basketball, another rule. If the ball, you have to start the ball back at the start of the foul like soccer. But unlike basketball, where we're saying about the double dribble, if the ball hits you and hits the ground, that's your first dribble. So if you pick the ball back up with 2 hands and put down another dribble, that's a double dribble. So if you get in a passing lane and you block it and the ball hits the ground, there's your first dribble. So you can't pick it back up. You can keep dribbling, but you can't pick it back up and start dribbling. See, I think he's almost from the side there. That's a little dangerous. Joseph Dissler, again, involved in a near 2-minute penalty.
14 almost juked his own ankles out there.
He's out of steps. He doesn't know what to do, and he's running in and just grabbing a 9. And I think that's been the issue with Ohio State. They haven't been able to get any half-court offense going.
Lacking in creativity.
And last half, they were able to get a few fast break goals, but I haven't seen a fast break goal from them this half. So they need to have something going. I mean, it's been 16 minutes at this point, and 3 goals is not enough, especially when you had to come back from a 6-goal deficit. It's just a normal 9. He's going to complain. He was almost going to get a 2-minute there.
Wow.
See, I don't think that should have been a goal. You have to shoot from the.
Another thing that you saw there, Dissler was still inside of the 9-meter line. That was why I was going to say that.
Everybody has to clear out of the 9.
The ref might have missed that one.
It's okay. It was a lot going on. He was going to give
Dissler's still talking to the ref over there.
He was going to give Dissler a 2-minute for talking to the ref. He's saying that.
Let's see what's going on
here. You can't do that. You can't do that during the game. You can't talk back to the refs.
Refs are not having any of this right now.
He's gotten a few 2 minutes. He's been complaining this whole game. I understand the refs from that point. They got to calm down the game. They got to get a grasp on it. I mean, he was complaining about that last call. The guy was somewhat behind him, and he got fouled, and he wanted the 7.
What a shot by Vaughn.
He never had possession. He wasn't shooting. I think that's the right call. They gave him the 9. Great shot from Vaughn, though.
You can tell Air Force is just the superior team in this matchup.
What was your prediction again? 32-22?
Yeah, I don't see Ohio State putting up 8 goals in 8 minutes here.
No,
it's a little bit tough.
Yeah, they have to get some half-court offense going. Well, they need some fast breaks, but
good move by Disler.
Oh, see,
Drew the 7. What a play!
I don't think that's a 7.
Again, Russ might be a little bit more lenient because they're down right now.
I think that's a 9.
There's
I mean, it looks like they were still somewhat in front of him. It looks like he was still somewhat in front of him. I guess the call was that he was not. I mean, it's a tough call. It's a good 9 finish. Or 7 finish, a good finish. But, I mean, I totally understand the ref's call. Once again, discretion call.
The goalie Winston Myers is 1 for 2 on those 7
Which
saves.
Is great.
50% is a great percentage. Again,
a
bit of a small sample size, but you can see why they bring him in especially to do it.
That's great. It's a great finish. Goalie picked up that left leg. He threw it right underneath.
Grant Gardner's having a heck of a game. We saw number 5 Nathan Luther start off hot, and obviously Richard Vaughn's had some goals over the top.
They're going to run this fast break again. You see, they already got like got 5 players there. Oh, that's sloppy. They
a little
had
bit
6.
sloppy. This game could easily be about another sloppy play from Ohio State. It easily could be about 35-10 to Air
As a
Force.
goalie, you cannot be both in and out of the 6 with the ball. They turn into a field player, and then once they're in the 6 partially, it gets called back, and Ohio State gets the ball.
Right, exactly.
See, the ball should have been called back, actually, on the sideline. When the ball goes out the sideline, to throw the ball back in, you need to have 1 foot on it. And it looked like the player was completely in the field to play. So I think that's
tough work right there.
Yeah. But
Ohio State definitely is lacking creativity, lacking ideas.
See, he's still in the 6th. It's tough. That's a good shot.
Ooh.
That's a good save. I mean, great jump shot. He elevated. He threw it. Not enough in the corner.
One of the best shots from Ohio State.
One of the better shots, yes.
Bartlett taking a jump shot from the 9 is about as good as they're getting this half.
Goalie change permanent now. This goalie has played most of the game, but now they got the goalie.
You see them up. They're up 13 goals with about 6 minutes left. Good to get some other guys some experience, some playing time.
Yeah, I think they're going to take it a little easy.
Nothing like getting some shots put on you in a game situation.
Yes, it's a great learning experience.
So, Lincoln, we as University of Virginia handball players, we playing Air Force
another goal
in our next game. What are you seeing? Strengths and weaknesses of this Air Force?
Strengths are going to be running in transition. You know it. You knew it before they came in. I think the hardest thing to adapt to is that defense. It's really unique. It's really aggressive. It looks like they're playing a 5-1 right now. They play a 3-3. Regardless of what they're playing, they're aggressive. And if you aren't aware, they're going to cut that passing lane and start when they're fast breaks. You see 2 players out right now. They're kind of having the start of 3-3. That's a charge. Yeah, so they
should have dumped that off to the wing right there. Leopold was open.
So now they're starting a quick fast break, and that's just sloppy.
Oh, good save from the goalie. That's one of those.
That's a good save.
One of those situations where coming out helps them for sure.
Yeah.
So we talked about the strengths of running in transition. You see any weaknesses on this Air Force team?
I think they've been a little sloppy. They're half-court offense. I think you can stagnate that, and if you can be a little crisp on the offensive side and not allow for any fast breaks, I think you can hold them to fewer goals.
Right. They've definitely been better in transition than in their half-court offense.
It's a
good goal
finish,
from
good
Leopold.
Finish.
Ohio State has had some clean wing looks, and they've finished most of them. Goalies have been good for Air Force, but not outstanding.
See, Air Force has been letting those shots happen, and I think in general it's a good idea. But I don't think Ohio State's getting enough through the middle that they need to be squishing so much. But that's also part of their 3-3 defense. Oh, that's a good move. That's a good
Another
save.
Good save.
I gave him a 7.
I think he touched him from the side or from behind. Can't do that once again. Handball is a very, very particular sport. You can be very aggressive in certain situations, but there's others where you just have to let it go.
Yes.
Oh, what a save.
Oh, that's a good attempt from Richard Vaughn.
You see again, Air Force players laying their body on the line.
Yeah, it's a good attempt. Goalie tried to play off another face hit, but that one bounced. that one you can't really give to him. But yeah, as I was saying, Ohio State's not getting enough through the middle that you really need to let them have open wing shots. That one wasn't really open. You're okay with that.
Good defense there.
That is a foot. I don't know what the call was there. I thought it was a... I didn't think it hit his foot, so I didn't know why it got called back. I guess grabbed him maybe.
3 minutes left. I do not think Air Force is going to reach 35 goals. But
no, I think if they've been playing full speed the whole time, maybe. But you can tell they're slowing down with someone now. That's got to be something.
That's from behind again.
He's all over.
Cannot do that. Cannot do that. Inexperience from Ohio State showing up a little bit here. A little bit closer in the first half, but
so we have
this second half has been a 13-6
score. This is the first 7 by anybody else. The captain, number 9, has been shooting all of them, but Richard Vaughn just shot that one. Good finish.
What's your take on the 7 strategy? Some teams will have one player consistently shoot the 7s. Others will have it switch it up. Maybe whoever draws the 7 takes it.
So personally, I think there are people who shoot better on 7s, and it's good to have a few of them. I don't think it has to be the same player, but it's kind of like in soccer with penalty shots and free kicks. You're going to have a few
2 or 3
players,
guys,
2 or 3 guys that are specialists that know what they're doing.
That's what we've seen with Air Force and with Ohio State.
Teams.
Devin Bartlett has been taking all their 7s.
Oh, that's great defense. He just lost it. Unlucky there.
Missed an opportunity. Ohio State's playing a little bit double pivot action here. Very, very interesting.
They haven't done that all game. That's a good pass. He may have been in the 6, but some good footwork
from the Air Force goalie.
Good job with the goalie.
That number 1 has had a heck of a game for Air Force.
Yeah, he's only had a few minutes in there, but
he's made some saves. Ohio State's goalie has probably been him and Bartlett have been their most valuable players so far.
Yes.
So you got about 90 seconds left.
Another goal. That's the second one from Grant on that angle.
Grant Gardner is having himself a heck of a game as well.
There's the lumber back. Yeah, but that moving to his right shot, not necessarily the easiest when you get way out there, but he's found that bottom right corner twice now, at least, on that shot.
You see Air Force has pulled out a couple of their starters and has rested them the rest of the game. That's Nathan Luther. As well
Nathan
as
Luther's been out for a long time.
They're just giving him some rest. They got 4 or 5 subs they can deal with. Ohio State doesn't have quite that luxury.
What
a shot.
It's a good finish.
Put it right over the top of the Air Force goalie.
And what we've been seeing is Air Force is doing these offense-defense subs. It's somewhat common. You have a better player on defense, and you choose to get him in. Makes sense.
It's tough to do against a team that runs in transition because you might get caught with a man down.
On an Air Force.
Right, but Air Force
does it well because they get 5 people back so easily. Oh, that's a great move. It's a great move.
Looks like they might hit 32. This might be a combination of our scores, 32 and 18. I predicted 32-22. You predicted 35-18. It's somewhere in between, like we said.
As we had predicted.
Looks like our next game here will be a women's game between Penn State and UNC.
Oh, it's another. I don't think he's going to shoot that. Don't shoot it. Don't shoot it. Don't shoot it. Don't shoot it. He's shooting it.
Wow. 33-17 going to be your final here.
So, yeah, in handball, often those aren't shot, but you can't blame him. It's a fast break.
All right, takeaways from this game, Lincoln.
Ohio State looks good in the first half. Offense stagnated. But Air Force got a little crisper in the second half and showed that they're the better team.
I agree.
I think it was a good game overall to watch.
Thanks for watching with us, folks. We look forward to having you next time. For Lincoln Ambrose, I'm Ben Kilpatrick, signing off.
See ya.